with more on a series of stories coming up tonight. Meredith.
It's a News 8 investigation months in the making. Teenage students feeling violated, parents unsure where to turn.
No child, no parent should ever have to experience that.
The darker side of AI technology, the Susquehanna Valley investigation into AI-generated nude images using pictures of local teen girls' faces.
Me and my friends have just spent so much time worrying and walking around school not feeling safe.
In an exclusive 8 on Your Side investigation, News 8 explains what the Lancaster Country Day School knew about photos uploaded to a popular social media site, the active police investigation, and why this might not be illegal.
And Meredith, you started investigating this months ago after a tip.
Yes, Jerry, that's right. So I received a tip from someone not involved in the case, but who knew about these photos. Now, we learned the law enforcement portion of this investigation started with a call to Manheim Township Police also in May. But the Lancaster Country Day School explained to parents in this letter that the upper school, the head of the upper school and the head of the school knew about this AI misuse in November from a Safe to Say tip. It was a parent who eventually made that call to police, alerting them to the nude images of her daughter, including her teenage daughter's face and the faces of other underage girls, all students here at Lancaster Country Day. One of those girls talked to me exclusively. We agreed to conceal her identity.
I think there should be mandatory discipline for kids like this.
Lancaster County District Attorney Heather Adams would not comment on the specific Lancaster Country Day School case, but did explain the nuances of the law as it stands now.
Under our current child pornography statute, our courts have interpreted the definition of child to mean an actual child.
Meaning the AI images causing these girls distress may not be illegal.
We have to look at our current existing laws and how the facts of a particular investigation fit into those current laws.
District Attorney Adams says in some cases she is unable to bring charges, which can cause confusion and frustration.
It depends on so much on the investigation and what we're able to gather and then what we're able to prove. Certainly if the facts are there, we will move forward. In the event that they're not, but there's still been some harm done, that would be very upsetting. It'd be very offensive.
I feel so unprotected by the government and by my school that no one can do anything about this.
But some people are trying to change that. We traveled to Montgomery County to talk to the Pennsylvania state senator leading the charge to make this illegal. Senator Tracy Pennycook is the prime sponsor of Senate Bill 1213, which would combat AI-generated child pornography.
Technology is always going to be more advanced than the law, but we are very, very aware that this is a huge issue right now.
I think it's fair to say that AI is new, but also how do you not see things like this coming? And that when artificial intelligence can do absolutely anything, I think we need to be more less naive about it.
The 20-plus teen girls whose faces were used have limited options since the laws have not changed.
We needed it yesterday, yes. It needed to be done months ago. We are pushing very hard to get it done this fall. We'd like the governor to sign it this fall.
Senate Bill 1213 focuses on children, specifically changing the definition of child pornography.
It outlaws any picture that a child's image is attached to either a nude body or engaged in sexual activity.
Redefining child pornography as child sexual abuse material, which would include the use of AI.
Tonight, we go deeper into our 8 on Your Side investigation and the handling of a reported AI-generated nude photo of more than 20 students at a Lancaster County school. The situation is raising concerns about the guidelines surrounding mandatory reporting involving child abuse.
Yeah, WGAL News 8's Meredith Jorgensen first broke the story on News 8 at 5 after one of the teen girls depicted in some of those photos shared her experience with us. And tonight, Meredith exposes a loophole in mandatory reporting procedures in our schools and the changes Lancaster Country Day is now making that include the FBI.
Me and my friends have just spent so much time worrying and like walking around school not feeling safe.
After learning her face was in AI-generated nude photographs, at the end of the last school year, this Lancaster Country Day student, who we have agreed not to identify, says she couldn't believe she has few legal protections. According to the Lancaster Country Day School, in a letter obtained by News 8, the school said it investigated the claims last November, but could not prove the photos existed. So administrators closed the investigation without notifying authorities. Pennsylvania's Child Protective Services law says when there is a reasonable cause to suspect any kind of child abuse, school employees are required to report the suspicion. But the nuances of the laws create a loophole.
It is not a required offense under our mandatory reporter law.
In the letter to parents, the school says it reopened its investigation when accusations surfaced again in May. Lancaster Country Day School wrote, it confirmed the AI-generated nude images and told families, quote, we also reported this incident to the appropriate authorities. District Attorney Heather Adams says, in general, school leaders should call police when there is suspicion of any kind of child abuse.
Law enforcement has the tools to investigate. They have the tools to analyze cell phones. We have the power to get, search warrants and serve due process on people so that we can see, is that image being spread? Because ultimately the law does not want that.
The Pennsylvania Family Support Alliance is a statewide child abuse protection organization and says school employees are mandated to report even a suspicion of child abuse.
There's no requirement for them to do an investigation or to know, what type of abuse it is or if it's going to meet that definition of the law. They just have to have a suspicion that abuse is happening to make that report.
And tonight, only on News 8, we obtained a copy of the search warrant police used to seize electronics from a student suspected of creating AI-generated nude photos of underage girls at one Lancaster County school.
Continuing our 8 on Your Side investigation, News 8's Meredith Jorgensen is live at Lancaster Country Day with the new details emerging from this court document. Hey, Meredith.
Hi, guys. In these 10 pages, detectives at Susquehanna Regional Police lay out the evidence as to why they needed the students' electronics to continue their investigation in this case. And in doing so, explain more about the timeline from November when Lancaster Country School Day leaders got a tip about these AI-generated nude photos all the way until May, when other students allegedly saw the pictures, other girls heard they might be in these pictures, and parents told the school about these pictures, rather than the other way around. This search warrant, obtained exclusively by News 8, was executed at the end of August, giving detectives at Susquehanna Regional Police access to the suspect's electronic devices. Investigators say they retrieved items and data has been extracted, but now digital forensic experts will have to analyze it, and they say that can take time. Parents of some of the alleged female victims met in a big meeting with the investigating detective for an update on the case. Some tell me they are pleased someone is taking action, given that some of the parents say they believe school leaders failed them, calling it a neglect of duty for not furthering its investigation when accusations first surfaced. In the court documents, head of school Matt Michicki admits the school received a report about these photographs in November 2023, but Michicki said no students came forward with further information, so no further investigation occurred. The affidavit says, quote, there was no notification sent out to parents or the student body of the allegations. No action was taken for 6 months. Then in May, a female student discovered there might be photographs of her, so she told her mom. That's when parents learned at least 3 students allegedly saw the images on the suspect's devices, organized in file folders labeled with the girls' names. Well, the suspect no longer goes to school here. A parent tells us that he was not expelled from the Lancaster Country Day School, but instead asked to withdraw from the school. The head of the upper school, Jenny Gabriel, has announced she is leaving, giving no reason for her departure, but working until the end of the current school year. Victims' parents tell me they have no confidence in Gabriel's ability to lead for the remainder of this school year and say she still holds considerable power over the student body, including the victims in this case.
One Lancaster County school says the faces of teenage girl students were used to create AI-generated nude images.
Police are investigating these photographs with the faces of more than 20 underage girls on AI-generated nude bodies.
Lancaster Country Day is looking for a new head of upper school. News 8 obtained a letter sent to families yesterday saying Jenny Gabriel is moving on from the school.
These 10 pages, detectives at Susquehanna Regional Police lay out the evidence as to why they needed the students' electronics to continue their investigation in this case. More than 50 underage girls are now victims of this AI child pornography scandal.
Top leaders at Lancaster Country Day School are out.
Detectives say 2 teenage boys made and shared hundreds of child pornography images, and tonight those 2 boys face hundreds of felony charges.
You see it right there, 6 months of investigating, speaking to parents, and seeing changes in leadership finally resulting in criminal charges. Welcome to News 8 at 5, everybody. I'm Michael Fuller.
I'm Susan Shapiro. Now the charges are filed against 2 teenage boys in the Lancaster Country Day School AI child pornography case. Parents of victims and those who were not victims are asking what's next.
But 2 sides of the embattled private school community are looking for very different things. News 8's Meredith Jorgensen continues her months-long coverage of this story and joins us now with the very latest. Hey, Meredith.
Michael and Susan, the investigation into the AI nude photos of their underage daughters uncovered 347 images and videos, and parents of many of the victims say they feel a sense of relief that the classmates that created them are now being held criminally liable. At the same time, other LCDS parents are seizing on the DA's determination that school officials did not have to legally report the crimes, now saying they want the former head of school reinstated. In a letter titled Strong Opposition to the Unjustified Removal of Matt Michike, some parents of LCDS students wrote, quote, "The actions of a few individuals have led to the gravely unjust removal of a man who, ironically, is the best person to lead us forward during this time of uncertainty. We believe that Matt's return is essential for restoring the trust, stability, and unity that our school desperately needs." The letter was signed, "Invested members of the LCDS community who wish to remain anonymous for fear of legal retaliation." Some of the girls who are afraid of the AI naked pictures of themselves on the internet, though, feel differently.
Initially, I thought, I was obviously horrified that this had happened to my child, but I also had empathy in thinking that, these are high school boys and they make bad mistakes. As this progressed and I realized that it was just a massive amount of girls, it's a totally different scenario than that. You have true perpetrators that need to be held accountable and need to get help.
One victim's mother, who we're not naming to protect her daughter's identity, said these 59 felony charges for sexual abuse of children, 59 counts of dissemination, 59 counts of child porn, and 59 counts of possession were a long time coming for their family. But she said she was blindsided by the district attorney Heather Adams' announcement of no further criminal charges.
Adults who were responsible for my child's and 50 other children's care did not appropriately act. And why did that happen? So to make that statement in the press release, to me, is very concerning. And I really think that we need a district attorney that is operating in the best interest of all of the children in this case.
The attorney representing many of the victims' families asked if the investigation into the school administration's failure to act is complete.
Distressing and sad that seemingly, the district attorney has already made a decision to focus in on one portion of the statute and conclude the investigation based on that.
While non-victim families have been critical of those filing suit against the school, Matthew Ferranda Dietrich assures his clients want the private school to become better because of this.
this is a real issue, and LCDS has an opportunity to be at the forefront. So we would hope that people would consider that as they're considering what we're trying to achieve here. It's not to hurt the school. We hope not to hurt the school. We want the school to take accountability. We want those responsible to take accountability. We want the school to improve so that everybody's safe.